Coming up on Takedown with Chris Hansen.
Show me your hands!
In Marion County, Florida, 3 men claim they don't know who I am.
You don't need answer because you're not the law enforcement.
No, but I am Chris Hansen.
You are who?
I'm Chris Hansen.
And that's... But you're not a legal police officer.
No, but I am Chris Hansen.
But they're about to learn what I do the hard way.
Anything else you want to say?
Nothing. I never want to say nothing to you, period.
Okay.
I hope you're enjoying this free full episode of Takedown on our YouTube channel. But there's something you need to know. There are literally hundreds of new episodes either in production or on our streaming channel right now, uncensored, all on WatchTruBlu.com. Use the code YouTube26 to watch all of the episodes for $2.50, or for an annual subscription, use YouTube Year for $20 off. Also, and this is very important, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on TruBlu. In Marion County, Florida, Operation Seek and Ye Shall Find has been making arrest after arrest after arrest. Detective Henrik Austin and I are expecting another busy night, because first up is 32-year-old Lavonta of Ocala, Florida.
Give me a sense for how this all started.
I just got a quick text from an individual off of a post that was made online. He was pretty upset that I wasn't answering him very quickly, and essentially learned that he was speaking to a 13-year-old girl. Asked to speak on the phone. Went and spoke to the recording on the phone. He learned that the 13-year-old girl was a virgin. He was kind of scared of a lot of things. He said that he was going to be her first, and that he'd bring condoms to make sure she didn't get pregnant. And he made kind of a weird statement at the end about how he could help her make money if she was going to be about that life.
If she was going to be about that life.
I don't remember the exact wording, but that was a general idea.
To that effect.
And it wasn't clear.
He could help her make money.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that was a big part of the conversation, kind of leading up to the phone call. He sent a picture of his bank account, said he works 3 jobs, he's a hardworking man, he's got money, he's going to spoil this girl.
And did that indicate to you that maybe there was an element of potential human trafficking afoot here?
Yeah, during the phone call, he did say that he would pay the child.
Lavonta is a fast mover, so a detective, posing as a 13-year-old girl, gives him the address of a nearby gas station to meet. Deputies watch his every move as he pumps gas and then tries to leave.
There he is. Cut him off right there.
The arrest team boxes in the vehicle.
Let me see your hands! No.
Out the car!
Out the car now!
Step
Hands up!
Step
Hands
out the
up!
car! Get out of the car!
Get out the car.
Get out of the car. Everybody can run.
Get out the car! Open the door! Open the door!
Reaching down.
He's reaching.
He's reaching with his left hand.
Step out the car.
There you go.
Keep your hands up.
Keep your hands up!
Keep your hands up. Step out the car. Keep your hands up. Walk back. Walk
here.
backward.
Walk back to me. Walk back to me. Keep walking. I'm going. Keep walking.
Down.
Get on the ground.
Down.
Get
down,
on the ground.
Down.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. What the fuck going on? I'm down. What the fuck going on?
You're under arrest.
For what?
I'll tell you.
The fuck going on?
It was a tense few moments, but Lavonta is finally cuffed and taken into custody. While officers search his vehicle, they find a bag of an illegal substance.
That's definitely crack. So crack cookie broken up. They cook it. Sometimes it's a powder. Sometimes it's in solid form. So that's what that's going to be. And these days it could be still mixed with the methamphetamine or other controlled substances, but that's what's pretty common.
They also find another vial of drugs and condoms. Lavonta is taken back to the sheriff's office, and while he was chatty with an underage girl, I'm not expecting he'll be too talkative with me and my cameras.
Hey, Lavonta, how you doing?
Fine, you.
I'm good, man.
So I just got a couple questions for you. I'm trying to clear up a couple things.
Okay.
What led up to you
I don't-
being here tonight?
I don't ask no questions to these cameras, man.
I have to have them. It's for our protection and for accuracy.
I don't feel comfortable talking.
Well, I don't feel comfortable without them.
I guess we can't talk.
All right. I'd like to hear your side of the story.
I mean, I just told it to the officers.
I know, but I need to hear it.
Cameras in my face.
Right. I understand that.
This is, I don't feel comfortable. I can talk to
Lavonte,
you without cameras.
no, I need the cameras. So there's a couple things you need to know, right? One, I'm Chris Hansen, and I do stories on men who try to meet children for sex, try to sexually exploit them.
I never try to get at children. I never try to get at children for sex.
But you showed up at a sting.
Never try to meet a child with sex.
But you were told by this girl that she was 13 years old.
Never told by her I was 13.
You talked about having sex with her. You brought
We on camera,
condoms.
you started talking about things that I don't want to talk about on camera. So
Okay, well, you gave up your
well, if you wanna
reasonable
talk, I'm not gonna
expectation for
talk.
privacy when you showed up committing a felony,
I never
allegedly.
committed a felony. I don't want to talk.
Well, it's,
Okay, well,
listen,
cool.
what kind of a man
I don't
shows a
talk.
child
I'm
a
not
bank
talking.
statement with $3,100? And why do you have to show a
I don't
child?
talk.
You don't want to talk.
No, I didn't know as a child. Never knew as a child.
How is that possible?
I don't want to talk.
You don't want people to understand your situation.
I don't want to talk to you, sir, about something that was not in my knowledge.
Okay, people are going to see this.
Okay, cool. To my knowledge, I never knew this person was a minor.
Why would you show up on a terror watch list, Lavonta?
Never had no charges in my life with a minor to show up on no watch list. Never in my life had nothing to do with a minor to show up on no watch list, period. At no point in my life, never had nothing to do with a minor, period.
Why
So
tonight? Why tonight?
You tell me why I show up on the time.
Well, you tell me.
I don't know. I can't tell you something I don't know the answer to. I never in my life dealt with a minor. Ever in my life. Look me up.
Why tonight then?
Didn't know it was a minor. Never knew nothing about a minor. That's why.
But in the phone conversation, the girl
Never
made it
knew.
clear that she was 13 years old.
Never knew it was a minor.
Were you not
To
paying
my
attention?
knowledge, to my knowledge, never knew that she told me that she was 13 years old. Never to my knowledge knew that. No.
Would you be okay having sex with a 13-year-old girl?
Of course not. Of course not. Never in my life would I. No.
Have you been in trouble before?
Nothing with no minors. Nothing to do with no females. Never in my life.
But you've been to prison.
Nothing about a female. Robbery, drug charges. Yes, that's why I've been in prison. Nothing to do with a minor.
You a married fellow?
Correct.
How long have you been married?
Since 2017.
Long time.
Correct.
Where'd you come from tonight to get here?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I'd like to know.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Where do you stay?
It doesn't matter.
Volusia?
It doesn't matter.
Gainesville?
It doesn't matter.
Because here's the way it looks, and try to see it from the way I see it.
My thing is, you're still talking to me, and I told you I want to talk to you with cameras in my face.
Okay,
So
but I need some
I
answers.
understand. You don't need answers because you're not the law enforcement.
No, but I am
You're
Chris
not my
Hansen,
lawyer.
and I'm going to be
Are
doing
you
a
my
story
lawyer?
on this.
Are you my lawyer?
I'm not your lawyer.
Are you the state attorney?
I'm not a
Are
state
you an
attorney.
investigator?
I'm a reporter. I told you
that's,
what
that's
I...
all you are as a reporter.
Okay,
so it's
so
no point for you to talk to me.
I would think
It's no point for a reporter.
you would want
I
people
don't
to
wanna see-
know the whole story.
The whole story is I never knew this person was a minor. That's the whole story.
Okay, so I
Period.
think you're lying to me about
But
that.
that's what you can think. You're a human being. You have the right to your opinion. I cannot tell you your opinion. You're an adult and you're a human being.
You
so
say-
your opinion is your opinion.
You say something
Factual
to...
basis is
Okay.
not your opinion.
You say something to
It
the
doesn't
effect
matter.
of,
It doesn't matter
if you
what
like
you
the
say. It
life,
doesn't
I can
matter
show
what
you
you
how to
say.
make money.
It doesn't matter.
But it matters what you say.
It don't matter what you say.
Okay, it matters what
That's
you
not
say.
factual
What
basis.
you said
It's
was
not
something to
factual
the
basis.
effect of, if you like this life,
Okay, and
I
that's
can
what-
show you
and
how to make
that's
money.
That's what you say, right?
And you flash
Is
your...
that factual? That's what you say.
That's
correct?
in the
Okay,
transcripts.
that's what you say.
That's what you
but
say.
That's not factual basis.
Okay, you didn't say
But
that.
It's not factual basis.
So you didn't say
It's
that.
not factual basis.
You're saying you did
Are
not
you
say
law
that to this girl.
enforcement?
No, I've
Okay,
told you that.
are you a judge?
No.
Okay, are you anything other than
People will judge
are
this
you-
based upon
are
what you say.
Anything other than
I've told you, Lavonta, I'm a reporter. I'm a
That's it.
television reporter who
And
does
I will-
investigative
and
stories.
I do not want to talk to you.
All right.
So why you cannot respect my wishes as a man of adult? If I just told you I never knew that this person was a minor, if I just told you I never in my life been charged with anything other than robbery or drugs in my life, why would you continue to try to bash me and try to make me feel like a monster when I'm not? You're trying to come at me incorrect. You're not giving me the proper respect as a man. Why I want to talk to you on camera, you're trying to belittle me. That's not who I am.
All right.
You're study trying to badger me about something I'm not. I just spoke with the investigators and had a clear understanding with them and told them everything completely. You walk in here like you're bigger than them when you're not. You're a reporter. Correct?
Correct.
You're a reporter.
Correct.
So you have nothing to do with this, the law or the justice system. I'm in here on a crime. I'm not in here for you to belittle me as a man because you know nothing about me. You know nothing about me as a man.
You tell me who you are as a man.
I don't want to. I don't feel as if
fair enough.
I'm not have to tell you who I am as a man.
I understand that.
Correct.
But you understand why I want to know.
No, I don't, because it's not your business.
Oh, it's my business.
No, it's
right?
not. It's not your business.
It's my business.
You're a reporter, right?
It is my business
This
as
is
a
my
reporter.
life. I live this life.
Okay.
As a reporter.
You live this life and you showed up here tonight, so don't get shitting with me.
I'm not getting. I'm telling you as a man. I'm a man. Don't try to belittle me.
I'm not belittling you. I just want answers to the questions.
Okay.
You had a chat with a 13-year-old girl. You're 32 years old.
Never had a chat with a 13-year-old girl.
You're a grown-ass man.
Never had a chat with a 13-year-old girl.
Well, I think you're bullshitting me.
Hey, that's what you think. That's your opinion, right?
What do you think should happen to you,
That's your
Lavonta?
opinion,
What do you
correct?
think should happen?
Is that your
What
opinion?
do you think should happen
Is that
to
your
you?
opinion,
That's
sir?
what the evidence shows,
Is that your
Lavonta.
opinion,
That's
sir?
what the
That's your
evidence
opinion,
shows.
correct?
That's what the evidence
Okay, so why are you
shows.
getting frustrated?
I'm not frustrated.
Why are you raising your voice, yelling at me?
I'm not the one going to jail tonight.
Oh, hey, guess what? I'm a man. This is my destiny. This is what I have to go do as a man, and I'm accepting that as a man.
All right.
More or less. I'm not finna let nobody badger me and accuse me of something that I'm not aware of. I'm not finna let you come in here and badger me like I'm just this.
But why even show up in something like this?
What is your business?
Okay, you're hung up on what my business
okay,
is.
understood. You make your money as a reporter. You're a reporter. You make your money by reporting, correct?
That's my job. You're a drug dealer and a robber.
Prove it.
Well, you told me you were a drug dealer.
I said charge them what I was charged with.
Okay, how do you make your money? You construction.
I just crush.
Good,
Correct.
that's good.
Correct.
So
I do construction.
So this whole thing.
So why you want to look at the negative versus the positive?
Because you're here.
Exactly, I'm here. But at the same time, I'm innocent to prove guilty, correct?
That's correct.
So why can't I have that as a man?
You can.
Okay, so why you
in here? Okay, if you don't want to tell me any more about this,
I
then
never want to
fine.
talk to you from the beginning with cameras in my face.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Anything else you want to say?
Nothing. I never want to say nothing to you, period.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for talking. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
it. All
You
right.
too. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Great night.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Next, a detective posing as a 15-year-old boy fills me in on a man who wants to hook up.
It went from very vanilla to sexual very, very quickly.
And how old did he think you were?
15.
15. Did he express any reservation about your age?
No, he actually, when I told him my age, he said, "Oh, you're just a baby."
Oh, you're just a baby.
Yeah.
And did he say, "You're too young, I shouldn't hook up with you"?
Nope.
He just went ahead with it and wanted to exchange oral sex with you.
Yes.
15-year-old boy.
Yes.
I head out with the arrest team to meet 58-year-old Salvatore at the gas station rendezvous point.
No window tints. It is dark in color, black and chrome rims.
Oh, it looks like that one over there. That's it.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
Let me see your hands. Hands up. Put your hands up. Open up the door. Open the door. Step out. Face away.
Step out and face the store.
Step out, face away from us. Walk straight backwards to the sound of my voice. Okay?
While Salvatore follows instructions and is taken into custody without incident, let's just see how he does with my line of questioning. Hey, Salvatore, how you doing? Good. Oh, kind of a rough night, huh?
I've had many a worse night in my life.
Yeah.
I said I did something stupid, and that's that.
Okay.
Who are you? That
I'll get into that in just a second.
Well, if you're a film crew, I have nothing to say.
Okay.
I mean, honestly.
Tell me how loneliness played into what happened to you.
As I said, who are you?
I'm Chris Hansen.
Are you a police officer?
I'm not a police officer.
Goodbye. I have nothing to say to you.
You don't have anything to say?
No.
You don't want to explain why you told somebody who told you they were 15
I would like you to
that you had a big dick and you come a lot.
I didn't say that. That was their message to me.
You talk about oral sex with this boy. You say you like giving and getting head, sometimes top.
Did I just say I have nothing to say to you?
Okay, but I have some questions for you.
But you're not a legal police officer.
No, but I am Chris Hansen, and I am doing a story
And I don't
on
care-
men
I don't
who
care
sexually
what you're
exploit.
police.
No, you can't leave. You can't leave.
Officer, I want them out of here.
Have a seat.
You know what? You don't have a right to privacy when you commit a felony.
Okay, but I don't have to talk to you.
You don't.
And I'm not
It's very
going
true. Okay, but so you understand
I think-
my position here.
I think-
You understand when you commit a felony, you lose your right
And you
to
know
privacy.
what? If I'm put in a position where I have to speak, I will get a PR link and I will release a press release. That way you can't twist what I say around.
I'm not going to twist what you say.
I just told
but I
you
need
I am not going to.
Look,
I am
here's the
not
way it looks.
going to answer you.
You got in a car and you drove here to have sex with a 15-year-old boy.
I am not.
You left your mother at home.
I am not going to answer you.
Okay. You don't
That
want
is
any.
not what I did.
Okay.
But you can.
Well, then you tell
You're
me.
saying that, and I just said I am not going
Okay.
to answer you.
Is there anything else you want people
said
to know?
That is not what I. What,
Okay, so just so you know, and I'm going to respect your wishes not to talk.
okay.
I understand that. But Salvatore, so you know, this will be a television story. And I'm giving you the opportunity to tell your side of it and to explain what happened here.
That's fine.
And you're very difficult with me and you're on the muscle. And I can only conclude that it's because of what you did tonight. Now, if you want to put this into context, I'm happy to hear it.
Look, I just told you, you are absolutely taking things out of context
Okay,
already.
then help me out here.
No. I want an attorney, and I want an attorney
Okay.
now. And I'm not saying another word. without
That's
an
fine.
attorney. You have a good night.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
No. I've worked in media my whole life.
You have?
I know the way you people.
Oh, you do?
I know the
Well,
way
if you're so good at it, then why did you end up getting caught in a sting trying to have sex with a 15-year-old child if you're so good at media?
And here you go. Look at your wording.
Well, look at your wording. Look at your actions.
Look at your wording.
Okay.
Who said that? I didn't say that.
You got online. You said you were talking to 4 different people, one of whom was a 15-year-old boy. And they made it very clear. True or false?
Did I?
True or false?
Who did I say I was talking to 4 people to?
You just said it to the
I
detectives.
said it to a detective.
Right.
And how do you, a reporter, get into my conversation with the detective? Get me a lawyer. Have a good
All
night.
right. Have a good night. Thank you. Salvatore made it very clear he didn't want to speak anymore. I think he showed his true colors in his interview with me, trying to be polite to the detectives. Still, remember this. He didn't want the detectives to get into his phone. Said he wanted to talk to a lawyer first. You can draw your own conclusions on that. After a busy and late night in Marion County, a detective posing as a 13-year-old girl is chatting with 58-year-old Darrell. Darrell asks the girl if she wants to do drugs. The detective says she's younger, so hasn't done a lot. Darrell asks if she's free now. The detective again says she's younger and that she's about to be 14, making her only 13 at the moment. Darrell then asks about her experience and wants to know how much it would cost for oral sex. He asks where to meet and says he'll pay $50. The address is given and Darrell is spotted leaving the gas station. Detectives close behind.
Rammed our vehicles, man. Taking off. Towards the interstate corner across 27. Watch out, put your camera down. This thing went forward into a ditch.
Darrell then unbelievably drives his car into a pond and takes off on foot. Luckily, he doesn't get very far before he trips and is swiftly taken into custody. Roll your knees to your chest. Sit up. 2, 3. Just take a chase the truck right here. Our unit's right there. Back at the sheriff's office and under the watchful eye of a security camera, Darrell is asked to write a letter to his would-be underage victim. With text chats in hand, we'll see what excuses Darrell gives me for attempting to meet an underage girl for sex.
Hey man, how you doing?
Not too well.
What's happening?
I got severe pain in my abdomen.
And what causes that, Darrell?
My cancer.
What kind of cancer do you
I got 2 different non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Right.
And my spleen is covered with cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And it's already traveled, and it's run into my right lung. And they only gave me 3 to 6 months to live, but right now I'm in so much pain right now, it's not even...
So they've only given you 3 to 6 months to live?
Yes.
I'm sorry, buddy.
No.
That's tough news. I need to talk to you a little bit about what happened today. And I know you're in pain, and they're going to take you and help you deal with that. But tell me about this chat you had with this person.
Her advertisement said that she was 19 years old.
Right.
And she said that she was 14, then she said she was 13, and then I was like, whatever, let's just meet and see where it goes from there.
Got it. So she did tell you she was 13.
Yeah, I said, well, I mean, towards the end of the conversation,
Right.
yes.
And why were you going to meet her, Darrell? What was the purpose of the meeting?
Like I've met every other prostitute.
For sex?
Oh, wait, right. I wasn't going to have sex with a 13 or 14-year-old. There ain't no way.
But you showed up after talking about giving her $50 for oral sex, or BJ as you put it.
No, I didn't say BJ. I said head.
Head. Sorry. Okay. Thanks for correcting me.
Hmm.
So you told a girl who told you she was 13 that you wanted to give her $50 for head.
I didn't say I wanted to give her $50 for head. She told me this, the last person that she gave head to, the guy gave her $50.
Got it. So you were cool with that, giving her $50 for oral
That's what I
sex.
said. I didn't even have $50, so.
You didn't have. So what was your plan if you didn't have $50? You're going to bring her drugs?
No, the very first thing is I told her in the text message that we'd meet first.
Right.
We'd meet each other first. If she was 13, 14 years old, she could have took off walking because I'm not a pedophile.
Right. Have you met other women online for sex?
Yes.
How many times?
A bunch.
A bunch.
Yeah.
And of all those sexual encounters, have any of them been with underage girls?
No.
And you're positive of that?
Absolutely positive.
Then why take the risk today, Darrell? Why even go meet somebody who told you she was 13 years old? That's illegal. Just have that chat.
I told the officer that was sitting here, I was like, it was under my assumption that nothing's illegal until something happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I didn't know it was illegal to go meet somebody.
Well, the chat is the illegal part. To
Yeah,
negotiate
yeah.
sex with somebody who's underage, that's illegal.
I had no idea either. I had no idea.
You know, they do television shows on this.
I've never seen one.
You've never seen?
Never. I swear to God.
Takedown?
No.
To Catch a Predator, any of that stuff? Does that sound familiar
No.
to you?
I'm not a predator. That's one thing I'm not. I'm a
It
predator.
looks like you're a predator.
I know.
So, did you bring drugs with you
No.
today?
No.
What did you throw into the tall grass after you had your...
I didn't throw nothing in the tall.
You didn't throw anything in the tall grass?
Nothing.
But you talked about bringing a rock of Coke online.
That was from that. There was a different conversation before that.
A different conversation. But you told in this chat that got you in so much trouble today, you talked about bringing a rock of cocaine. Do you use cocaine?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
Is that for your cancer?
I mean, like I told the other gentleman, you are.
I'm Chris Hansen.
And that's Chris.
I'm a journalist.
Okay.
And I do stories on men accused of trying to exploit children.
Okay, I'm not trying to exploit children.
Okay, but that's why we're talking to you. You see what I'm saying? So I want to get your side of the story here.
So you have no right to publish this?
Oh, yeah, I do, actually.
How?
Because you have no reasonable expectation for privacy. You negotiated online with a child for sex. You drove to meet the child.
No,
Yes,
I
you
most
did.
certainly did
And then
not.
you drove the car
No,
into
I
a
certainly
pond.
did not.
How did your car end up in the pond?
I did not do that at all, what you're saying.
Well, that's what the transcripts would indicate.
Well, you're reading the transcripts wrong, because that's not exactly that's not what happened.
Sure looks that way.
That's not
Will
what
you tell me what happened then, Darrell?
What do you mean tell you what happened? I don't,
You know, I don't need approval, so that's...
You don't need approval?
No, I don't.
Okay.
So you can tell me what happened or not.
Can I see an officer, please?
They will. And let me ask you one other thing.
Can I see an officer, please?
Darrell?
Excuse me. Can I see an officer, please? You can have them leave?
No, sir. You have no right to make anybody leave. You are under arrest.
Okay,
So-
I'm under arrest, but it don't mean I have to talk to a journalist.
You know, you can say
You can be here though.
But Darrell,
Okay, and I don't approve I'm being filmed.
that doesn't matter what you approve of or not. You can tell me you're done with the interview, and I'll respect that and leave, if that's what you
There's
want.
no interview. I don't understand you sitting there accusing me of something I
I'm not
didn't do.
accusing you. I'm just asking you for your side of the story because you've been arrested, Darrell, after a sexually charged conversation with someone who told you they were 13 years old. Then you drive your
That
car
shouldn't
into
be.
a pond.
That shouldn't be.
That shouldn't be okay. So you should be
No,
able
I
to have a sexually charged conversation
No,
with
I'm
anybody
not.
you want, no
I
matter
did
what her
not
age
have
is.
one of
You
them.
talk about paying her for
I
head.
did not have one of them.
All right. Well, we're
No,
going
I
to have
did
to
not.
disagree on that. Why did you drive the car into the pond? How did that happen?
I don't know. Why are you sitting here harassing me?
Those are two different things.
Why are you sitting here
I
harassing
want to
me?
get your side of the story.
There is no side of any
I'll tell
story.
you, how did you drive that? How did the car end up in the pond?
Interview's done.
You've been in a
I
lot
didn't
of
even
trouble
know.
over the years,
I didn't
Darrell.
even know
You've
that
been in
this
a
was an
lot of
interview.
trouble.
You didn't even tell me who you were.
I just did.
Whether it was an interview or anything.
I just did.
You walk in like you're a member of the police force,
I'm not a member of the police
and
force.
you think it's perfectly fine to
It is
try
perfectly
to
fine.
coerce somebody into saying
Not
something.
coerce
That's not the
anybody.
case.
All right, you're turning the tables here. You're the one who's
No,
in trouble,
you're
Darrell.
the one
Darrell,
trying to turn the tables.
Look at me. Look at me.
The interview's over. I'm not done talking. I'm done talking to everybody.
Is there anything else you want people to know? Nothing about your criminal history, about what you tried to do today, about how you tried to run from the sheriff's deputies? Nothing. That's it. All right, Darrell. Well, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Darrell, Salvatore, and Lavonta are all being charged with use of a computer to seduce, solicit, and lure a child, use of a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony, and traveling to meet a child after using a computer to lure a child. Due to the drugs found in Lavonta's vehicle, he is picking up an extra charge of possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. And because Darrell drove into a pond and attempted to make a run for it, he is facing the extra charges of fleeing with disregard of safety to persons or property, resisting officers, and human trafficking. We'll keep you posted on the cases against them. Sheriff Billy Woods has been the lead lawman in Marion County, Florida since 2016. And he makes a vow to the community to protect its children through intensive investigations like this one. Sheriff, why is it so important for you to conduct these investigations in Marion County, Florida?
It's vital because the crime is so prolific. You know, it is out there. Technology of today has opened the doorway for criminals that exist out there. Now, this is the innocent of the innocent. Let's be honest, okay? These are the ones that can't protect themselves, and they need people out there that watch out for the evil that truly exists in this world. And this is pure evil. Anybody that preys on juveniles for sex offenses, in my humble opinion, are the worst of the worst in this world.
Is there a worse crime than this, preying upon children?
No, there isn't. In my eyes, no. You know, we all get our answer when we stand before the good Lord, but I promise you, in his eyes, this is probably at the top of his list.
Did you ever imagine when you started your law enforcement career that you'd be dealing with a problem like this?
No, absolutely not. Not in my beginning of my career. You know, the problem you thought about is homicides, you know, domestic violence. That was, even today, that's the number one calls that we go to. These are the things that are thefts, burglaries, and robberies. Those are the things you think of in law enforcement, not these worthless human beings that prey on children. No, never crossed your mind. That was a rarity. You ever heard or took a report of such a thing? It was a rarity. And a lot of times in the beginning of my career, most of those cases were a family member on a child. And that's because another family member found out and reported it. This is the stuff that doesn't get reported. That's a message that you and I, and you do it. You do a great job of doing this, Chris. This is the message we need to send to the parents out there. They need to be paying attention to everything that's going on.
WatchTruBlu.com is home to the full library of Takedown with Chris Hansen true crime documentaries and exclusive investigations. To hear more about the men caught in my predator investigations, listen to my podcast, Predators I've Caught with Chris Hansen. In this series, I dig deep inside the crimes, inside the minds of the predators, and I'll tell you where they are today. Predators I've Caught, available wherever you get your podcasts.